Welcome to Your Known Unknown, where Source and I will help to shed light on what's unknown to you. Another day, another film, another video, another channel, and should be a pretty good message. We'll see. I felt really inclined to do a video. Spirit goes, you don't have to. I'm like, really? Because I feel like somebody's got a message that they need to hear. Spirit goes, okay, it's all up to you. See, like getting that responsibility, getting that freedom to do what we please, right? I know probably a good bunch of you have, well, I hope a lot of you know what I'm talking about, but when you toss up your freedom to be a divine instrument, you tend to lose a lot of desires, and when you get them back, it's almost foreign, So anyways, let's get to it. Let's into it. Let's pull some cards for you today to see what kind of message wants to be seen, what wants to be heard. If this style of reading, which is intuitive, resonates well with you, if there's something that suits your needs in all of this, engage with the video so it can reach the audience that it needs to reach, and I would greatly appreciate it. So anyways, let's see what the cards have for us today. Two of Swords, just straight up. Oh my god. Okay. Any context? No context. Two of Swords. I feel like you're kind of sitting in an energy of waiting for the right time to act, right? Obviously, she's sitting there, has full capabilities to let herself loose from her binds, from her blindfold, to see the truth, but she's waiting for the perfect time, right? Maybe a little bit of self-deception could be in here. I don't know yet. We'll have to see. In context with these cards. Thank you, Spirit. Oof. There is a connection with the Two of Swords, though. One where you are with self. She's with self solely. Seven of Cups. I see. Yeah, you're waiting for the right time. More like you're waiting for the right opportunity, right? But you wait so long, they're gonna pass you up. I feel like during a lot of my time where I was in my head, I came up with a lot of these great ideas, things that I was like, oh, that's doable, that's fun, that's cool new idea, thank you, Spirit. And then I never acted on them. It was always just a dream, right? And then I find through doom scrolling, watching reels, TV, whatever, or even just meeting people out and about, I see that they've actually acted upon those downloads that I've been gifted at particular times in my life. And I was like, damn, so I wouldn't have invented something when really, like, what I've kind of been led to believe is you're given these thoughts, these inspirations, these amazing downloads, transmissions, whatever you want to call them. And we think that they're just our thoughts, when really it's Spirit putting a good idea into your reality. And if you don't act upon it, they're going to share that energy until the right person wants to be seen with it, to put it out, to now you're the person doing the thing, You're the person making tinctures. You're the person making crochet hats. This is the person. And you're seeing them online. Fearlessly post and share their passions, right? They're being seen. They're making money. They're doing the do. And I feel like a lot of things have slipped by for me personally, but have they really? Because I ended up falling into one that was great, is great. I'm still playing around with it. We're going to see where it goes. I don't know. But there's a lot of things. See, like this guy right here, he's got all the choices and he's not sure about his choice. Just sitting here waiting for the right moment. Which, again, combines. You're just not sure about the right choice. And I'm just going to tell you straight up, there is no right choice. There is just doing. There is just the action. And you try something and you try it again and you try it again to get an honest opinion of whether that's something you want to do or not. You can't know if you like something just based upon somebody else's opinion of it. You have no idea. You do have to learn the hard way. The hard way. Or, let's rephrase that. You have to learn the real way. The real way is actually doing something, trying something out. Again, in a world where information is very abundant and all the possibilities are very overwhelming, like there's so many things you can do, infinite amounts of things you can do. Yeah, it can be very overwhelming. And you can feel like you're missing out on some things. If you focus solely on one thing, you could feel like you're missing other things. But really, life is just a step-by-step process. Experimentation is just a step-by-step process. Creating new products is just a step-by-step process. And by step-by-step, I mean learn, fail, revise, learn, fail, revise, learn, fail, revise. It's not glorious or glamorous, but it's real. You know? You took a test you never studied for. You got a C, D, or an F, and you know that you are interested in this information and you can learn better. So, you know, your teacher, your spirit, whatever you want, gives you a second chance to take that test again. And you're like, okay, better grade. Wait, I can ace this. And eventually, after enough tries, you ace it, right? And then what? Next test. New questions, new answers. Step by step. Learning the process. It does take diligence, and it takes getting up every day and doing it and trying it and seeing what can come from it. It takes getting over your risk and fear, or your fears of being seen, your fears of failing, your fears of not creating something that's absolutely perfect, when really, no, perfection takes many chances, right? Many opportunities. You know, I was binge watching some movies this last week, and I fell into the rabbit hole of all the Marvel movies. And just last night, I started thinking, like, you know, DC Comics versus Marvel Comics, the Marvel universe, right? And we got like Batman, we got the Flash, we got like Captain Marvel, we got the Hulk on the other, right? Blah, blah, blah. But think about it. And I was like, man, I bet DC would do a great job if they started making movies like this. And I was like, they already have, what do you call the whole Batman series, right? And that was happening long before Marvel movies started coming out. Batman movies, like whatever their names are, Kiefer Sutherland, I think his name is, you know, George Clooney, all these old school Batmans, back before Marvel even started doing the movies. And I was like, man, I bet if DC caught on to like the investment and the right assets to create movies as good as Marvel movies, right, they would probably have a great time. And in all reality, I was like, wait, maybe Marvel actually got the inspiration from DC, you know, like from the Batman, like, hey, we should do an entire universe and blah, blah, blah. Anyways, I don't know. I don't really care. But I was just kind of fathoming these ideas and being like, oh, wait, they did do that. In fact, somebody took a great idea and made it better, and they're capitalizing on it. We're taking good ideas And we're just personalizing them. We're making them ours. That's a good starting point. You don't have to create a brand new product that's going to save the world today. You just have to start creating products today. You just have to start creating stuff today, doing stuff today. Like my last video, just taking those little baby steps. It's safe, it's responsible, you're going to win. The doors, the gates are open for your success. And you're currently just sitting in this place of waiting, very patiently, and you're looking at all the possibilities at hand. Yes, 6 of Cups. You came from a 6 of Cups energy. Where you thought it was full. Where you thought you were balanced. Oh, I'm so sorry, not 6, 9. 9 of Cups. Wow, that's a little different, huh? Thank you, Spirit. But the moon's coming through in all of this. The energy of the moon is coming through very strong in all of this. Let's see how we're feeling about this 9 of Cups here. You felt good. And today, not so good. Because maybe you did act on it, and you've done it a few times, and you're like, well, it's not as exciting as the first time. Well, welcome to dopamine rushes and spikes in life, you know? Let's see how hard your discipline can kick in and your diligence can kick in and start doing this stuff routinely. Why? Why work for somebody else's dream when you can create your own? That's the best part about all of this. And really, you know, you see all these products in the stores and these offerings in the stores, whatever. These people are making money by doing that, by going to the store and just being like, hey, do you want to buy my stuff? And they're like, sure, put it up there. And that's how Americans can make some money, make some real wealth. It's very simple once you figure it out. Nobody's ever going to tell you how to figure it out. And you got to figure it out in your hard way. You got to figure it out your way. Sitting at the age I'm at, it took a very long time for me to comprehend how business can work, how really simply structured capitalizing your hobby can be. You just have to go through a few ego deaths to accept that that's what that is. You know, you got to go through different understandings, different processes, your own unique processes. We have the 9 of Cups, 9 of Cups, and the Knight of Cups. Recent past energy, man. You're sitting there being like, oh, that felt good. Whatever I did felt good. I loved it. Made me happy. That's why you're still doing these things, because it made you happy. So whether you have now acclimated to that level of happiness, it's time to move that goalpost forward and what's going to make you happy next, you know? Wow. What's going to make you happy next? Let's see. Is it the same things? Is it something new? Or is it progressing the thing that you've already started doing? We have the Knight of Cups again. Which in this is the Prince of Cups, which is introspection. Right? What is going to fill your cup again and again and again? Some journaling might help. Some meditation might help. Jogging, driving, walking, hiking, whatever. You know, a lot of them have to do with outdoors, right? But at the same time, a lot of them just have to do with that mind clearing channeling, right? All of the things I just said help clear your mind. And that's what's going to help. It helps you hear, helps you decipher through the madness to understand what you're doing and why you're doing it is important too. Something that might take people 10 minutes to figure out might take you a few days to figure out. That's okay too. Keep doing it. Oh. And don't be down on yourself about it either. Look at this lady. 4 of Cups. Clarifying the Prince of Cups. We have a lot of cups. There's a lot of emotional fulfillment to be recognized here and to be desired and to be cultivated. We don't want to get burnt out, and we don't want to feel jaded with what we're doing, because it's tough to pull yourself out of trauma and depression and then keep positive passion in your compass, in your, field of vision. It is tough. You might be somebody who can get disheartened very easily. And that's a big issue. Being disheartened, being jaded. A lot of things take a lot of work. Everything that matters takes a lot of diligent work, integrity, discipline, creation. And it's funny because, like I've said before, even doing nothing is something. Nothing is something. And it is exhausting doing nothing. It's actually hard work to force your human self to do nothing. Nothing. That's the intention. Not to sleep, but to do nothing. To just be. Sit. Quiet. Don't look around. Close your eyes. And just breathe. If you're worried about time, set a timer so you can stop thinking about time. So you can focus even deeper. That was a good trick that I used to do. I used to never set a timer, and I realized through my meditations I would sit there and there would be a spike in my thoughts where I'd be like, oh, how long have you been doing this? It feels like it's been 20 minutes. And I look at my phone and it's only been 5, and you're like, ooh, I still got another 5 minutes. I'm not late, When really, what helped me go even deeper into myself, stop thinking about time, set an alarm for 9 minutes, you'll be at work at 10, And it works. In fact, it allowed my introspection to feel deeper, longer, more complete, more full, because I stopped subconsciously worrying about time. Time's been a message coming up lately. Meditation has been coming up a lot lately. You feel good when you get off work, go home, you feel like you deserve to watch a movie, right? You're like, that'll help me relax, but will it help you go to sleep? No, it will keep you awake. Will it help you cultivate a dream? No, it'll help you kill some time. It'll help you ease the monkey mind that is driving you crazy in general and giving you the confusing thoughts, giving you this energy. And this energy isn't moving. And that's what we want to do. We want to be moving. Wow. Time. From the Earthbound Oracle card. Wow. Just the 3 connective cards with time, are air element, and reflect. It's like we know what we're doing, obviously. We're doing it, but we don't know where we're going to go. So we're kind of lost in what it is that we're doing, having a real purpose and direction. Okay? So we're going to breathe. We're going to sit and reflect on what it is we are, what it is that makes us happy, all the questions that you want. And you don't have to ask every question. You can just ask any question or none. You can be like, Spirit, show me what it is I need to know. But then give yourself the amount of time it takes to get the message, which means if you're meditating, you got to take the time to clear the thoughts, the monkey mind, let the ego settle down, let your body move past the realm of uncomfortability and sitting silent and all the little fidgets and itches you get and all the little distractions you get. Move past those. Wait, sit silently past them. They will pass. And eventually you'll be sitting there just breathing and getting these thoughts. Kind of like a dream, some of them will slip from your mind when you wake up, when you come back to, when you start doing and moving again. But practice and practice and practice, and you'll start retaining all this information. You'll start retaining all your information, your downloads, your answers. If you want more of them up front and quicker, you write them down. But you have to give yourself time to practice. You have to give your conscious self, subconscious self, and unconscious self the right environment to cohabitate and communicate and work tangibly together until then you open your eyes and you start having your day again as your conscious observing self, as the side that likes comfort, as the self that likes comfortability, likes where you're at, not growth, and we want to work past that. We want to see why we're growing, and we want to know why we're growing. That's a tough one, but maybe we're not supposed to know. But the cards are saying, if you do want to know, look inside, look inwards. You will get the answers. The objective right now is do now, reward later. Not do now, reward now. No, nothing is that spontaneous. Not what we're working for. We're working to build an empire. That's not going to happen today. That might not even happen this lifetime, but hey, you put the wheels in motion and maybe lifetimes from now it does happen, and maybe it's not your success that created that empire, but you did get the wheels turning. You did spark inspiration in somebody else's mind who then had the resources to actually create that dream, reality, whatever, product, it doesn't matter. Create. I felt like I wasn't creating today, so I wanted to make a video. I wanted to create a video. Tomorrow I'm creating other stuff, which will soon be offered in my videos and on my stores and stuff like that. We'll see. Page of Pentacles. Okay. Yeah, you're in the beginning of the new processes, so be patient. Be patient. You have a goal and a dream. You have a vision. It will change over life, over time. It will change. But right now, you have a destination. How to get there, I have no fucking idea. And the last thing I want to do is waste time, right? I'm sure the last thing you want to do is waste your time. And I'm here to tell you that you're not, unless you're doing nothing at all. And I mean nothing, like not even the nothing is something nothing, but like if you're just like laying in bed and watching movies every day, watching Netflix, that's nothing. That's healing, but it's not proactive healing. And it's not the quickest way. It's probably one of the worst ways to heal, but it works. I did that. It took a long time. Probably would have taken a lot less time if I would have actually done stuff. So you're starting in a place that is small. It has to start there. Because if we're trying to create something that is secured and stable and self-sustainable to a degree, if you're trying to create something that is going to work whether you have a day off or not for you, that shit takes time. It takes diligence, it takes discipline, it takes effort, it takes failure, it takes risk, it takes luck. It also takes strategy. It takes you being you, shamelessly and full-heartedly. It takes you as your courageous star that you are. Yeah. Knight of Pentacles reversed. So it's time to get moving. It's time to go do the stuff. Because it wants you to. And because you love you, and that's how you show love to self, is through creation and validation of pride. And you're like, hey, look at what I did. I didn't do it for them. I did it for me. But I did it because of me. And I'm doing it for me because for me only once, for you. And I love that. I create beautiful products to help other people. Not to take anything from them, not to gain anything from them. In fact, if I got money from giving stuff away, I would, The reason why I want money is so I can give more, so I can create more, so I can create cleaner, so I can create better, and refine and recollect and reflect and refine and recollect and reflect and revise, edit, change, grow, adapt, and eventually whatever you want to consider perfection will present itself in your life. If you hold that energy forever. That's why discipline of nothingness is very helpful. It will teach you to continue to have the same dreams and desires day in and day out until they are accomplished and seen and recognized. The world we live in, where one video sparks an emotion, the next 30 seconds later you have a new emotion, and the next 30 seconds later you have a new emotion, and then a new feeling, and a new opinion, and a new one, and we're scrolling and we're watching 30-second emotions change, 30-second emotion change. Where's the consistency in any of that? Where is the foundation, the structure in any of these emotional disciplines that we're getting from program, digital, blah, blah, blah? Detox yourself. Cleanse your environment. Be bored. Learn what it's like to fully have nothing to do in life and be bored. Then you'll want to create. Shit, man. I want to create my own business because I was bored. That's why. I was bored. I kick ass in life, and everything I need to take care of, I can do it with my eyes closed. And that became boring. I got a job, I got a car, I got a life, I got this, I got that. But I wasn't creating, and I wasn't creating prosperity. No, I'm working a hourly wage job, It's boring. Whether how much I love my job, how secure it is, how honest and truthful the business I work for is, it doesn't matter. It's not mine. I'm just good at working with that, and I'm not going to settle for that. I'm going to utilize that, and invest that into something that I feel like something I can do, let alone want to do. And that took a long time for me to figure out what I wanted to do. Like, to be honest, it took me like 4 or 5 years to finally accept that one of those thoughts that I had, those channels, those transmissions, downloads, that one of them, I like that, Spirit. That is tangible, that is doable, it's honest. I feel like that's a very aligned thing with me. Thank you. Let's figure out how to do that. And it turned out I already had everything sitting in my storage unit I needed. And lo and behold, I had no idea why I got that stuff in the first place. And that's why. So I don't know. To each their own. But the answers are right there in front of you every day in your reality. Not mine, yours. So have faith in yourself and push yourself to a little degree of uncomfortability and watch yourself grow and grow and grow. I promise. I'm going to give a little taste. I'm going to pull an oracle card, numerology card. I do offer these in my extended readings as well as private readings. I have a handful of other energy cards that I like to utilize, but we're going to pull a numerology card, see what message it is to take away with us, and I'm going to go start cooking. Number 13, effort. Takes a little bit of effort. Put some out there. You know you're strong. You've been in your unconscious self before and you did things that amazed you. You worked like a locomotive, you know? You did the things. You had some awakenings and the trauma affected you and you sat and you wondered and things changed in life, and now you're in a place where you've experienced one extreme, you've experienced the other extreme. For you, not by anybody else's standards, your own extremes. And now you're cultivating this balance. And that balance is like exhausting. It's like all you can focus on. But you've been doing that to the point where you can do it with your eyes closed now. And now what was honoring and fulfilling is just calibrated back to a normal day. And so we're pushing that 10 of pentacles, the 10 of wands, whatever 10s you have your goalpost set at is being pushed. And that will take a little effort to reach that again, and a little more effort to reach that again, to ultimately break away from this Two of Swords energy and Seven of Cups energy, where you are like, there's so many options, I really don't know what to do. Yeah, well, you have a lot of options. Pick one. Start there. That's your answer. You got a lot of options? They will all work. Yeah, so pick one. Just one. Page of Swords reversed. And do it. Pick one and do it. Pick one thing. Make it. Pick one thing. Do it. Pick one thing. Experience. Pick another. Experience. Pick another. Experience it. And so on and so forth until you've created everything you want. All right, we are complete. The messages are continuing on through the videos. It seems like we're telling a nice story and kind of mapping out this timeline of energies that we're experiencing, and I think that it's a very good story, and I think that these energies are showing us how to step into becoming our own becomings. So that's beautiful. Patience and effort, and you will soar, I promise. So with that, we are complete. I'm going to take a deep breath, disconnect from the channel. You can join me and share some air if you would like. It's a good time to do that, to enjoy the air element. All right. we're going to have a good day. We're going to have a good weekend. We're going to have a good week. We're going to have a good life. You know. So anyways, thank you for being here. Thank you for receiving me. Thank you just for being. And I love you. And until next time.